I'm trying to remember, what part is it in the game? Just because, like, I'm not terribly far into it either. Oh, it just solidified the floor. That was kind of scary for a second. Strike the wall. Which part of the game is it in? Like where after the golden saucer? I'm trying to remember that now. Because I'm definitely past the golden saucer. But I'm not remembering that part for some reason. After you returned... Okay, I don't think I'm there yet. I can't fucking remember now. I just kind of put it on pause. I'm at the part where you have to strictly control Cait Sith to do a bunch of stuff, and like the fighting with Cait Sith is annoying me. So I just kind of put it down for a little bit. But like no, I'm definitely excited for some upcoming, I guess, remasters, not really remakes. I don't find they're doing a lot of remakes of certain things. Give me something good. I think some dude in a damn bird. Nope, I don't think I'm there yet. And just to check to see if this demon shield does anything bad. Oh, okay, good. No, I can definitely understand if that's the case, and that being fucking irritating as shit. As would most people. Looking forward to finally getting to 16 in this, though. It's been a long fucking journey, man. Because like, and like one of the other things like I try and do, especially when I'm doing things like this, like where I'm doing the like RPGs and like doing series, I'll do all of my like grinding off stream. Really? I was enjoying it like for the part that I got through before I decided to like stop and like finish this on stream, or finish it after I got to the point that I'm at like in the series. And like that's where like I feel like it's hard when you're doing RPGs, because like sometimes you just hit like, sometimes the start of something can like have a giant lull, and like they're, especially with like some shows and stuff too, because I've had that happen with a lot of shows where like I get in and then people are like, nah man, like, oh, first 3 or 4 hours, like what's the last thing you remember doing? I'm pretty sure I'm a lot more than 3 or 4 hours in, because I love to do my side quests. I like to get overly ridiculously strong for no reason. And get all my side items. But yeah, like I do all that, like, and I do stuff like that off stream too. Usually like this game, like we're going through the story and stuff like that, but like any of the hunts that I pick up, if they're on the way or it's not going to take too much time, I'll do it. But a lot of the time, like, all of the hunts in this game I'll do off-stream. Odin's Vessel. Odin's Vessel, okay. Oh, for 16? Yeah, that's the thing that's irritating me so much about, like, new RPGs is, like, the JRPG, and don't get me wrong, like, JRPGs aren't, like, 100% dying. Because, like, it just, like, they'll never 100% die off. But, like, the fact that, like, a lot of the mainline series is that, like, you know, everybody fucking loves... Hit yourself! Fucking confusion. Is I find they're all going that route, because, like, the hack and slash games are getting the majority of popularity. And sometimes you got, like, the non-exploratory thing, like, bothers me a lot. But, like, think about 13, because 13 was the same way. 13 was very, very straight and narrow. Like, and, like, they even did, like, the one thing that kind of got me, but, like, it kind of gave me a challenge too, is 13 level capped you. Like, I'm the kind of guy who goes into an RPG and, like, I will over-level myself so that, like, I get to a boss and, like, I just trounce them. Line exploring that aren't particularly good. Oh, okay. But, like, 13, like, capped you that, like, the way you upgraded your characters, like, until you got, like, near end game, it capped you at a certain strength, so you had to use strategy. And, like Kinetics say in there, I'm not sure if that's exactly how to pronounce it, that's the way it looks like it's said, though. Or I could just call you Soul, either way. But, like, I enjoy the mechanics of it for what it is, but, like, same thing, like, there's, like, that's why I like the turn-based and stuff, like, kind of like, you know, 12 is doing right now. Like, don't get me wrong, like, 12's good, like, I don't mind 12, but, like, the fact of the matter is, like, I'm just hack and slashing. Like, I barely use magic in the slightest. Like, unless it's to, like, cure something. Did I just get a chaperone? They can tell I shouldn't be left to my own devices. It's just like when I go for groceries by myself. She always thinks she can trust me with the groceries.
You're supposed to be an adult.
I am an adult. Which is why I buy the things that I want. When I can. Oh, yeah, 15's open world was, like, fucking ridiculous. But, like, it's kind of like the thing, like, at the same time, like, I miss airships. I miss friggin', this is Final Fantasy 12, Crazy Eyes. But, like, I miss flying around in airships. I really do. Like, I miss being able to, like, traverse the world map. Oh, yeah, like the... What was that? Oh, okay, that was an enemy. I was just like, what the fuck is going on over there? But he's very blurry. I guess, like, the RAM is not computing. But I know it's not. I know he just looks that. As I cough to death. But, like, I feel like there's, like, improvements that they're doing in a lot of games, like, in, like, the RPG industry, but there's also a lot of things that they're missing. Like, you know, just completely discrediting, like, friggin' JRPGs and stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still some being made, but, like, I feel like they need to do, like, the updated graphics like they did when they did, like, the Final Fantasy VII remake, but, like, keep the combat the same. Or, like, have an option to do, like, I guess both? Because, like, the Star Ocean series is almost like a prime example of that, where you get your random battles and whatnot, but it's also, I guess, kind of active combat in a way. Like, Star Ocean 2 is by far one of my favorite JRPGs, but, like, the combat is very active. I don't know, I still kind of feel like the turn-based thing for 7 could have been improved a little bit more. Like, I understand where you're coming from, where, like, they meshed it pretty well. But, like, mine, like, I want, like, the old school, like, up to Final Fantasy X, like, straight up, like, turn-based back and forth, like, no dodging. Oh my god, I did, the other, Awuga, the other, series I'm doing besides, like, the Final Fantasy series right now is the Star Ocean series, and I just beat, Star Ocean 2, the remake recently. Well, I guess we can't really call it a remake, because it's the same game, but better. But, like, the quality of life adjustments they did to that game, and, like, the little things they added was absolutely, like, ridiculous. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, when I was just, like, when I replayed it. Because Star Ocean 2 is by far one of my favorite JRPGs ever. I haven't played Bravely Default yet. Like, I've got such a backlog of games. Well, that's what I mean. Like, that's. Oh, you're just gonna hit me with the. Fine, I'll use magic for the first time. Oh no, I used a little bit of it earlier. But like, but that's what I mean. Like, you don't need to be like, you know, look, it's Final Fantasy and like have like all the stuff that Final Fantasy has. But like, Final Fantasy's been like a huge series for years for a reason. Like, there's something there. And like, I liked the look of it because it definitely gives me like old school vibes, like 100% with the way, like, even just the way it looks. It was same with there was one I seen a friggin' TikTok video of it earlier today. And I can't remember, but it's like another one made by Square. Oh, I think it's Octopath Traveler. And I seen the look of it, and I was like, oh my god, like, it looks so pretty. Like, it looks so beautiful. And, like, 100% on that Chaos is, like, there's the... Like, they're sitting there changing up the formula a little too much. Like, don't get me wrong, add some stuff. Like, try and do some things that nobody's done before with... with it, but that doesn't mean you need to change the way the game is played. Like, if you're trying to, like, pander to the new audience of people, where they like the active combat. They want like, you know, the Souls-like games vibe. Fucking go for it, but like, make it as like an offshoot game of what you're doing, or make it make like a completely new game series. Like, I loved why am I forgetting the name of it now? The prequel for 7 with Zack. Crisis Core. Like, I loved Crisis Core, and that was a Final Fantasy game, but like, it was an offshoot of the experience, and it was the same kind of. It was like a dumbed down kind of way they're doing Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy 16 or like the Kingdom Hearts series, but it worked because like you weren't expecting it to be like the turn-based like Final Fantasy has always been up until like 13, really. Like, this is a very like, don't get me wrong, it's still kind of turn-based, but like, it's an offshoot of it. This was after 11 came out, and 11 did well, so they're like, oh well, we'll just leave it like the same as the MMO style combat. But like, I find the MMO style combat when you're doing that with a party of 4, it just doesn't work unless you've got a party of 4 separate people. Yeah, exactly. Like even if you like want to still kind of keep the name kind of thing, just make an offshoot series. Like you could even make it in like the same universe, like like they did with friggin' Crisis Core. Like make an offshoot game and then change some stuff around. Or like they did with I'm trying to remember the name of the game now. It's another one I played. The Final Fantasy game that was basically a prequel to Final Fantasy 1. But it was basically Final Fantasy Dark Souls. Like, that's exactly what it felt like. I think it was Origin. No, Origin was the 1 and 2 re-release. Oh, 100%. Yeah, Strangers of Paradise, that's it. Like, I loved that game. Like, I loved it for what it was, and I loved... Oh, why does my throat dry out so fast? But, like, I loved it for what it was, and, like, what they did with it. Like, and the story they gave. Like, friggin' sitting there and taking that new take on Final Fantasy 1 and giving, like, a backstory. And, like, looking at it and... like the huge and like for anybody who hasn't watched or hasn't played friggin' Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins, plug your ears right now if you don't want the spoilers. Like the fact that Garland was in fact the good guy. Like, what? Like, Final Fantasy 1, you're playing through it, and it's like, oh, Garland's a bad guy. Garland's a bad guy. Defeat Garland. Then you play friggin' Origin, it's just like, oh my god. Yeah, like, but like, same thing with the Final Fantasy VII remake. Like, if you're making, like, a remake of a game and not a remaster, 100%, like, fucking go wild. Like the fact that they went and like completely 360'd the combat for like the Final Fantasy VII remake, like I'm all on board for that. Like, go for it. But like if you're sitting there trying to like continue the series that you're going at, and the series that you're going at is popular because your stories are incredible and like the combat is a certain way, don't stray from where you're at. Like, improve on it. 100% improve on it. But, like, you don't have to... Like, what fucking enemy am I missing right now that is not letting me cross this fucking bridge? But, like, you don't have to sit there and, rip the script in half and start from scratch. Like, do what you're doing. Continue doing the good things that you're doing. Oh, 100%. Like, the improvements are very easy to see. But, like, don't, like, completely negate the good things you were doing. And if you want to do something different, like, do a remake of an old game. Like, 100%, like, friggin' change things around a little bit, do a different combat setting, or combat style. Whatever you want. But, like, when you've got that... initial thing down, oh, the synergy abilities are fucking crazy. Speaking of fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I am so excited for the fucking the Last Ronin game that's supposed to be coming out. Like, I'm excited for it, but I'm fucking scared at the same time, because it's like, I don't want them to fucking destroy. Like, I just ended up picking up the actual, like, the Last Ronin comic, and oh my god. You can tell, and like that's a big thing too, is like you can tell when a dev is working on something and they love it. Because, like, they put their heart and soul into it, and it's just like, oh my god, like, this is, they put care into it, like friggin' Soul was saying before, like, the Star Ocean remake, or I guess really not remake, but the Star Ocean remaster, just like the tweaks they put into that were, there were subtle things, like, they didn't revamp the game, they didn't, like, go fucking crazy on it, but, like, the little adjustments they made, like, could show the love they put into it. But, like, Star Ocean 1 and 2, or not even really 1, like, I played 1 for the first time when I actually did the stream for it. I've played all the other ones prior to that. But, like, Star Ocean 2, like, fucking masterpiece. Masterpiece. But, like, I'm so excited to see what they do with that, and, like, I'm so excited to see what they do with, like, that last Ronin game. Oh, like, I'm trying to remember what games are Capcom now, because I usually don't even fucking... I'm a huge Square junkie. Like, Square, I'll always call them Squaresoft, because they'll never be fucking Squeenix. To me, anyways. But, Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, and Elden Ring is, fucking Capcom 2, isn't it? But, like, yeah, like, Monster Hunter, fucking, the new Monster Hunter game? Holy oh, that's FromSoft? Okay. But the new Monster Hunter game? Oh my god. Like, don't get me wrong, I find Square kind of had, like, a fall off after a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, I still love all the games, but I find, like, 10, I love 10, but, like, I find after 9, Square kind of took a dip. Like, I didn't enjoy them as much, but, like, the story's still spectacular, like, the gameplay was still good, but, like, there's some things they just kind of, like, I guess, missed a little bit, and one of the big things I found was a giant dip, and, like, started with 10, was, like, the no world maps, and, like, the no world map scenario. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the open world that fucking 15 has, and the fact that they added the chocobos and the land vehicles, and then I hate at the end where you had, like, at the end that you didn't get an air vehicle until, like, the end where the car turned into it. I would have to agree with that, Soul, but, like, I miss world maps. I miss, you know, traveling around the world, getting the fucking vehicles. Like, vehicles made a big difference. Although sometimes how huge the world map is kind of a little bit of a little irritating. Like, especially with how big 15's world map was, and where you could sit there and have the issue everyone has with post 9s. Yeah, and, like, and I'm trying to Bows. Okay, we'll go with Bows. But, like, that, and I 100% understand that, like, especially from, like, I don't, like, I'm working on a game right now with RPG Maker. Obviously, it's not, you know, huge game dev stuff, but, like, I definitely understand the limitations you have with, with the graphics, like, especially back then when they started with 10 and stuff like that, because, like, 10 was a big jump. 10 was a fucking huge jump in, like, graphical quality, and, like, you can't sit there and do the same things that you did with 9. fucking like since like we've known each other for a while now, Chaos. Like when I finish it, I'll fucking send you a copy, man. Like I'm like going like old school like RPG, like like I'm going like old school where you're gonna get a bunch of characters to choose from. Like I'm going like multi-level boss, but like with like and like serious undertones with like that little bit of ridiculous comedy that's like overlined in the background. Square. Yeah. No, like I understand that. Like there's like the different similarities and stuff for like the different FF games, but like when you look at like the games in their entirety and stuff, they're definitely like vastly different, which is what draws me to them, because like it's all like the story is always so crazy. 5, 6, 7. I think what they're saying, Chaos, for like where you can't make an FF9 game that looks like 16, is I think it's like kind of like the things they did with those. I also need to play Octopath like 1 and 2 as well. Like I think more along the lines of like where you have like the huge world map and like the different traveling options and like the different things they did. Like I feel like trying to do a limit break system with like the newer games would be a little bit harder. Trying to keep up with chat now. Yeah, no, I don't think he meant like literally, because obviously you could just sit there and completely revamp fucking graphics 100%. Like that's an obvious thing, but I think it's like more the game mechanics, like trying to do game mechanics like you did back in like, you know, Final Fantasy. I'll just like go blanket statement like 5 or even 6 through 9. Trying to do those with like the graphics we have now is like there's definitely things that are going to be like game breaking, and we all know how people love to rip apart games that have any kind of fucking problems. And like you're saying there, Sonic, like I still love 12, the infinite exploration. Yeah, like that's like I love how they like kind of added like the constant exploration back to this, like, and like the hunts and stuff, because it gives so much side things to do, like the hunt options. Like I love it, and I love that they brought it back to 15, like where like the side hunts and stuff. But like there's just so many things from like the vintage like JRPGs and stuff that I miss. Like I love the strategy of turn-based combat, because there's so many things that you can do with it, where if a boss is hard, even at low levels, like Final Fantasy VII, if I remember correctly, you can beat Final Fantasy VII, I think, at level 40 or 50. Like you don't have to max level. You really don't. If your strategy is good enough, you're sound. But like, you know, nowadays the games that like are out that have like the newer combat and stuff like that, it's not really about strategy, it's about timing. Like if you're not good at timing, you're fucked. Like if you're not good at timing, or you're not good at, well, I guess it's still timing, but like blocking and stuff like that, like you're cooked. Like that's why a lot of people can't get into Dark Souls games, as good as the Dark Souls games are. Like I'm not a huge Dark Souls person. I have all of them, but like I was given them through like the free games for the month and stuff like that for different things. But like I haven't played yeah, and like parry and dodge mechanics can get like ridiculously complicated. But like Assassin's Creed's been doing that